Welcome to my channel Skill Tone. How are you, my dear learners? In this video tutorial I am going to discuss about how to use Github account. Github is a very important social media network for data scientists. If you want to apply job for data science and machine related field, you need to have a GitHub. You know, we all have our Facebook account, sometimes we have our Twitter account, but this doesn't give you any job opportunities quite often. However, if you have a optimized GitHub account and you use your work or projects and upload those projects into GitHub to share with your friends, peers and other data scientists in future, so that the employer will look at your GitHub account and they can realize, yes, this guy can do work with data science projects and this guy can fit for this job. So for a data scientist or data science related job opportunities, a person, a student, a new job seeker must have a GitHub account. So without further delay, let's get started with GitHub account, how to use it, how to open it, how to use the code into your GitHub account and all that. Remember, my dear learners, end game matters. So your optimizing GitHub account will give you or open you a new opportunity of data science jobs in future. Okay, now in order to start with your GitHub account, you need to first download and also sign in to the GitHub environment. So in order to do that, first you go to the github.com, okay, and you can see where the world builds softwares. I mean, millions of developers and companies build, ship and maintain their software on GitHub, and the largest, most advanced development platform in the world. So all you have to do, just click sign in and it will automatically redirect to your Google account. You can use your Google account to sign in into your GitHub account. So just click Google account, or you can use your create an account in GitHub. You can use create an account. So I already create my account, so I have my name of my channel Skill Tone, and also I have my password. You can create your own account like this using username and password, then please press sign in. When you sign in, you can see there are a lot of projects I have done, like time series, DEA project. Today I also working with the tutorial with Python and R. So this is the GitHub interface where you can put your work, I mean the interactive coding, as well as you can of course upload any markdown files in this particular place and also share with the other data scientists. The other way you can do that is downloading the GitHub desktop. Just click the GitHub desktop and you can see here GitHub desktop, and once you click download for Windows 64, it will automatically download in your computer. Once you download all these things in your computer, I mean the download exe file, and I recommend you to download this GitHub desktop, then it will look like something like this, GitHub desktop. Double click the GitHub desktop and you can see that this repository interface looks like this. So I'm going to show you how you can use GitHub desktop and also online version of the GitHub, I mean using the same login and password use for your Python and R programming coding, and that way you can share your work with your peers, data scientists and other employers who are looking for your ability to solve data science related problem in the GitHub. So it is a very important for any data scientist and machine learning job seeker. Now I'm going to use this R Studio environment to work on a project that I can demonstrate how I can link to my GitHub account every time I update my code in R environment. So all I have to do, just click file and then click new project, and this will appear in your desktop. So the window is showing new directory, existing directory and version control. Click version control and it will lead to GitHub clone or a project from a Git repository. click this one, and then you can see the repository URL is here. You can name the repository directory name as well, but by the default create the project as a subdirectory of this is the one I already selected, but you can select your own one, there is no issue. But you can always go and see where I have done my work. For instance, in this case, if I click this one, I open this one, create project as subdirectory, and the repository URL, you can go to the GitHub in your account and click the code. You will find this one HTTPS here. You can copy the whole link and then come to the R, click this one, paste everything. You can name the R testing. For example, in my case, you can use your own name and then you just press create project. Now R is going to clone this whole environment, and then they will ask you to give your username. My username is Skilltone, my channel. Okay, and then they will ask you for password. You just have to press the password that you have for the when you created the account, and then you have to just press login. Now once I log in using my user ID and password of the GitHub, it will be redirecting to the new project in the R Studio. And here you can see the Git. By default they will create R markdown files, R testing, Git ignore and other files for GitHub account, and this is a new project of my R Studio. So I can, whatever I create, any project or work in this environment, and this will redirect to the GitHub, and it can also you can interactively share your coding to your other peers. Now I'm going to show you some coding in R so that you can easily know how I am doing it using the R environment. Now in order to use the data set in this project, I am going to use the Tendulkar famous record, because you know Sachin Tendulkar, he is a very great batsman in Indian cricket, and here is some data of Tendulkar data which you can also download from Kaggle. Here the Tendulkar runs, ball faced, 4 sixes, strike rate, and also there are some other informations here against which countries. So you can see there are lots of data of Sachin Tendulkar. So I'm using this data set for demonstrating purpose. So what I have done, just click from dataset import, and then I have already created the link where I have stored the Tendulkar file. And once I have done it, all I have to do just import, and you see the dataset is already here in this particular frame. So now I have my dataset, the Tendulkar dataset in my R Studio, and I would like to see is there any relationship between Tendulkar ball face and the run. I mean the run he scored and the ball he faced. Is there any relationship between these two variable? So in order to do that, first I have to do a scatter plot, and then I will see is there is any relationship between these two variable. Now once I uploaded the Tendulkar information, I mean Tendulkar data into my R Studio, you can see here that I attached the Tendulkar dataset in R Studio. I would like to know how many variables inside the Tendulkar dataset. So I put names Tendulkar, and then I can see these are some variables. Here are almost 13 variables, and I would like to know that this variable ball face, whether it is a numeric, character or a string. So I would like to know by pressing class bf ball face. I found it is a numeric data, and then I also run class runs, and also I got numeric data of these two variables. Once I have this information, I can plot BF ball face and the runs of Tendulkar, and also I would like to see using a scatter plot diagram the relationship between ball face and runs of Tendulkar. And once I command this in R, I have this particular diagram of scatter plot, run and ball's face in Tendulkar. And you can see here that there is a upward sloping highly correlated two variables, runs and ball face. So Tendulkar has more ball face with more runs, positive correlation, and it is upward sloping. So you can see by looking at this diagram, you can always predict what are the data set showing to us. Now After writing so many codes in this new project, I would like to use this project into my GitHub account. So how can I do that? I have to go to the Git. You can see here Git, then press commit. Okay, and the RStudio will ask you this diagram. So in this pop-up window, I would like to say what I have done in my RStudio. So what I have to do is just write I use. Okay, I just write I use a scatter plot of two variables. Okay, so I just changes only this. So why I need to write this commit message? Because every time I do some changes in my code or I proceed some steps of my coding and I would like to update all this information into my GitHub account, I have to write a message. Otherwise, you may be in a very confusing situation because you don't know in which line you have changed what. So in order to inform that for the community, I mean data science community, you need to make a message so that people can understand in this particular line you are trying to do some scatter plot of two variables. You can also name those two variables if you wish, but for this case just I'm showing like this message. So I commit and our git commit is already done. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to push that particular code to my GitHub account. So how can I do that? I just press push. So once I press the push, the Git will automatically ask me my username and password. By giving my username and password, the Git will take my code that I have changed in this RStudio for my project. Now after pushing, you can see here everything up to date. I mean all these changes I have made in this particular project so far is already uploaded to my GitHub account. Now I would like to see whether these are already there in my GitHub account by logging into my GitHub desktop account or online account. Both the places I can check from my directory that I mentioned. I can use this one. Okay, so let me see whether it is already there or not. Now once we commit and push all the Git information, which means the data that I already manipulated, coded in my RStudio, I am showing here in this folder. You can see there the Git ignore, Git attributes, R testing and readme file. All this information are in my local directory in under the GitHub tutorial. So in this particular case, whenever I change any code in the RStudio and then I push it, and this will restore in my Git directory, the local directory. So in order to upload this information and share with my peers and also the data scientist, I can do what I can do. I can log into my Git account using my desktop or my online user ID or password, same thing. You can use both or either of these and then press here. You can just press click new repository. You just have to press this one, new repository, or you can also import the existing repository, which means you do not have to create every time a new repository. Once you changes something and then after again you do something, you can import those into this repository. This is called the import repository, but in this case we are using new repository for the demonstration purpose. Now once I have it, so I can, it will pop up like this window. So I would like to say R Studio project, just write down something, a repository name, and I would like to share a description. If you want to share a description, you can do that. So you can say here is R Studio work. Just want to show something, and you can write in detail about what you have done in this particular project, and then after you can make it public or private. So if you would like to share anyone on the internet to see your repository and also they can commit to your work, then you can use this public. I prefer the public option, and then you can choose add a readme file as well, git ignore file, which is already I have shown you, right? and then you can see here all this information. Once you select it, you can create your own repository. Once the repository created, you can see here that you can go to the add file and you can upload files. Okay, and you can see here choose your files, right? It will redirect you to this particular case. Just go to this information, drag and drop, or you can choose the files, and you see the upload process has been done. Now my git attributes, git ignore, all the information are there. So I would like to now commit to this. You can write down your commit changes, like the one I showed you, that what you have uploaded about is description, some message or some information that might help other data scientists to help you to improve your work, right? So then you can commit the changes, and once you commit the changes, something like this file will be processed within few minutes time. Once you process, and you can see here all this information are there for everyone in the internet community, and GitHub account can see all my attributes at once. If you'd like to download, let's say your friend wants to download your git information, I mean the work that you have done using our project, they can just simply go to this code and you see download zip. You can download this zip file, and all the information will come to this zip file, and then your friend can use your work like this way. So in this way, every time you work in RStudio, you push it, it will store to your local directory, and then you import that repository to your GitHub account and share with other data scientists. Now I'm going to show you the same thing, how you can do it for Python Jupyter notebook in order to upload your information into your GitHub account. Now my dear learners, I'm using Jupyter notebook for my Python demonstration. So what I have to do is simply just go to upload, and I can locate my Tendulkar data, which is in CSV format in this case, and then I already uploaded it, so you can just I can use it again for your demonstration purpose. Click Tendulkar dataset, open, upload. Since it is already there in my Jupyter, but I can overwrite always. Once I overwrite it, okay, I can go to my new Python, okay, and then you can see here that I have my new Python notebook. So in this case, I can change the name. Let's say git testing, for example. This is the name of my project for this demonstration purpose. Now I'm going to write some code here, and in order to do some coding, you know that we have to do some import matplotlib and also some pandas data frame to show you how Jupyter notebook works. I have done these things in my previous videos, and in future video, my dear learners, I am going to use a very interesting video where I will show you how the Python and R codes are different each other. So in that case, you can always learn these two language and understand the difference between these two language very easily. So now for demonstration purpose today, since it is a GitHub tutorial, I am using some small coding and showing the same thing in the Python, and then I will upload the information to my GitHub account. So now my dear learners, I already import matplotlib.pyplot as a PLT, import pandas data frame into my Jupyter notebook, and then Tendulkar dataset that I have uploaded just now. Read.csv is the command for using this Tendulkar dataset available for Jupyter notebook, and encoding ISO 88591 is something very interesting, which means that it is a CSV file. You know, I can share with you the ISO 88591 is a single byte which represents UTF-8, which actually meaning that it has a CSV file with some supporting encoding 2, 3, 4 bytes per value. So this is some information about the file, and then I use plt.scatter, which is the scatter plot diagram, that command I made for my Jupyter notebook in Python platform. Tendulkar.bf is my dataset Tendulkar, bf is my ball phase variable, and Tendulkar.runs is my dataset Tendulkar, and runs is my variable. So once I command this one, you can see there is a very beautiful diagram which shows you the relationship between ball face and the runs of Tendulkar in the long run of some time period of dataset. It is a positive upward sloping relationship. So once I have done this small coding in Jupyter Notebook, I can always go to the file and then I can download this file in different type of format. So I would like to download this as PDF or whatever you want to do, you can do that. So let's say I would like to download this file as a markdown file. Here you can see that you can open the file, the markdown file already uploaded here in this case. So all you have to do, nothing you have to do, is just go to again your GitHub account. For instance, this is my GitHub account, right? And then what you have to do, just press this one, new repository. In this case I am using Jupyter, right? Jupyter Notebook, right, for my test case, right? And then again I use R&D file, create repository in my GitHub account, right? The same way I have done for my R case, add file, upload files, okay? And in this case I choose my Jupyter Notebook file where I have downloaded this one, git testing, and then press this one. Now this file will automatically upload it, you can see here, and then you commit the changes. Once you commit the changes, it is now available to the GitHub testing zip file under Jupyter Notebook command, which means Jupyter Notebook title, and anyone now in the internet can download your file. Now my dear learners, if you would like to do the same thing, you can see in the skill on your main account, and now you can see the various projects that I have done so far, and you can see how this contribution, I have 22 contributions last year, and then these contributions mostly on December and January, and then you can see here how the contributions are plotted. You can make your comments and all that for other GitHub accounts as well, and you can see one by one project. For instance, if you click this one, it will redirect you the project documentary information, I mean the repository information. So with that you can always upload your data science projects that you have done using some sample data using Kaggle platform or any other platform. You can use this GitHub account to share with your friends, family members, and employer in order to show them, yes, you are an active data scientist, you know how to work the project, and without saying a single word, people can realize, yes, you have some skills for data science and machine learning job. And after that, here you go, you get the job. And once you get the job, you look like this. Bye bye.